Um, hey guys, I'm Crafter, and today in this video, I'm gonna be talking about what are politics like in Miitopia. So we could start off here firstly, talking about Greenhorn Village. Now, of course, there's a mayor, but mostly everybody else are medieval peasant-like people. Oh, so, and then there's the king, who is the monarch of Greenhorn. And monarch, princess, yeah, besmirched, noble, rich. You get the gist. Greenhorn has a monarch, but the mayor is some sort of. He obviously clearly has connections with the king in some way, shape, or form. But we don't know exactly what, I think, from the game. And then next door doesn't really have a monarch, but we know that in next door there are celebrities. And celebrities have power, I think, because the celebrity seems like everything to the town. So, I don't really know what to say here. And then Realm of the Fae is tiny little elf people. Tiny little elf people, yes. No, there's not really a leader in that situation. It's just kind of, ooh, Fab Fairies. Fab Fairies famous. Fab Fairies get all the power, you know? Well, let me give it to him. Fab Fairies get all the power. And then Karkatin is just a volcano, but there is a castle belonging to the Dark Lord. And then all the other worlds, for the most part, we don't know who created, what is it, Nimbus? Yeah, Nimbus. We don't know who created Nimbus. But for the most part, we know that most locations in Miitopia have some sort of monarch. Like Greenhorn is a monarch. Next door has celebrities who get to control everything. But Realm of the Fae is basically nothing. It's just Fab Fairies that, Fab Fairies this. And New Lumos should have a president, but as we know, New Lumos is a small location. And it's not really that important. But, and then the rest of the locations, for the most part, are just kind of locations, as the name suggests, like islands and stuff. But, and then, like, Traveler's Hub has the lady person. You know, the person at the front who tells you about your medals. No, they're kind of always there, so we can't confirm or deny anything about them. Except for that, they definitely have something to do with the Traveler's Hub. Which is basically it. But, there's not really a lot to say about Miitopia politics. I don't really know why I made this video in the first place. But basically what I'm saying here is that it's mostly one guy has the power and nobody else gets anything at all. Everybody else is just peasants. The only person who we see remotely is not related to a monarch but still has presence is like the guy, the dancer. I don't know what I was gonna say there. Yeah, this video is unscripted, if you couldn't tell. First video, couldn't really get a script, but, oh, dang it! Emergency! No, you gotta be kidding me! Sorry. Got too invested in the background gameplay there. But basically, yeah, most things in, Miitopia, most places in Miitopia are, monarchs. Like Greenhorn, monarch. Basically everything equals monarch. Now, the besmirched noble's son, I don't know what the word besmirched means. I'm going to be completely honest with you guys. I have to look that up. But we can tell that the besmirched noble's son is not of high besmirchedness, I guess, because the king at first did not allow him to marry the princess. And we know that there's some type of monarch. Let me take back what I said earlier. There's some type of monarch in next door because I forgot about the prince from a nearby land. Now, we don't know if there's a king or a queen from a nearby land, but we do know that there's a prince from a nearby land, which is not a lot, because, like, for there to be a prince, there could or could not be a queen or king, which is kind of confusing. Yeah, but most of Miitopia is a monarch. No! Oh my god! But basically, what I'm saying is that Miitopia's politics is complicated. I'll have to research. Oh my god! I'll have to research more into this and make a sequel video, I guess. But very complicated government. Like, we could talk more about the king, and he seems upper class compared to the rest of his kingdom, because he seems physically flustered when the guards take his food in the credits. Now, the Great Sage, we don't actually know much about the Great Sage. Yeah, we don't know much about the Great Sage. Great Sage is kind of a mystery. But, who built the skyscraper? That should be our first question here. Who built the dang skyscraper? Nobody knows who built the skyscraper. I think. Wait, no. Wasn't it the Darker Lord? I'm so sorry. I thought I was pro gamer at this game. It's just I haven't researched the lore in years. You know, I gotta use a hyper sprinkle here. But basically, what I was saying, I don't want to repeat myself, but monarch for most of it, and then I gotta peel. Monarch, king. I wonder if the king maybe has connections to people from other lands. Oh my god! Maybe has connections to people from other. This is where we get into Theory Town here. This is where we get into Theory Town, because we could talk about the geography and how there's clear borders in between multiple places on this map. I need to grind. Clear borders. And we don't see a single president, so I'm gonna repeat myself. There's a lot of monarchs. Monarchy. 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 But you know what I've been saying at this point. A lot of Miitopia is monarch, king or queen. Come to think of it, we never see a queen in Miitopia. Like for Greenhorn, we never see a queen, which is strange. Not a single queen. Not only for Greenhorn, but for every one of the kingdoms in the game. For every single one of the kingdoms in the game, we never see a queen of sorts. Now, the Fab Fairies don't count. Shut up. Fab Fairies don't count. Fab Fairies don't have... they clearly have some power in Elven Retreat. but it's not that much. They obviously have their little elf powers. Oh my god! Oh, goodbye. They obviously have a position of power within the elven retreat. But we don't know how deep that position of power goes because they don't seem to have a currency exchange in the elven retreat at all. Like, you can't, like, there's nothing to spend money on or anything. It's just kind of like Mushroom House. But basically what I've been getting at for this whole video is Miitopia doesn't have a clear government because this is a silly kids game. But where we do have it, it's prominent. But you can't say for sure about anything in this game because the game gives you so much creative freedom with your characters. You know, that's kind of the whole point of the game. But because that means that we can't have anything for certain. Oh my god. I hate it when they use the HP bananas. But we can't say for certain about most things in this game. I'll probably do another video on a subject like this next time. Like, hold on, let me think. Why did I use cat's paw? Let me think here. Well, I'm not gonna get too much into it. That's a job for off of camera. Peter hasn't even learned double slash yet. If you guys are wondering, the background footage came from my ongoing challenge, beating Miitopia the way game journalists intended. I've been doing it for over 1.5 years. Just thought I'd feature some background footage from me grinding because this is a very hard challenge because game journalists are bad at video games. And there's no hiding that from anybody. So, back to the video idea. Yeah, most characters have a place of power. I'm acting like a high schooler trying to fill in the word minimum on an essay right now. I'm just repeating myself over and over. Okay, so I bet I haven't thought of some things, but like, where did castle come from? If the Dark Lord, who is the Dark Lord ruling over if he has a castle in Karkatan? Who in the world is listening to his every command? Maybe the monsters. I told you guys I'm a little bit rusty on Miitopia lore at the current moment. But yeah, this is a very limited video idea. Like, there's not a lot of stuff to talk about in the game. But there's some stuff. I should have made this a broader topic. But you could probably tell what I'm getting at for this whole video. You know, I'm just gonna play the game and think about what I could say next. In the end, you gotta think about the fact that this is a silly Nintendo children's game and nobody really cares about the lore. But, like, I want the lore because it's funny. But, did I ever... Never mind, I'll get into that in a different video. But basically, what I've been getting at oh, wrong character. What I've been getting at is that Miitopia is a silly children's game and nobody really cares about this whole video. This is gonna get like 20 views maximum. So I don't understand why I'm putting so much work into this. But like, silly children's game makes me happy. But Fab Fairies. In conclusion, we can obviously see that Greenhorn has a mare, but he has deep connections to the king. So Greenhorn in general is kind of a monarch. But the besmirched noble, I still don't know what that word means. The besmirched noble's son is obviously in a good family, I guess, by that word's connotation. But the king still didn't let him marry the princess. It's until I came in and was being so Sigma. But we can obviously see that the reason for that was that the king is like mega rich. Even though we see him visibly agitated when his meat is taken in the credits, as I said. But because he's fat, big back. But moving on to next door again, we can obviously see that there's a prince from a nearby land, but not a king or queen from a nearby land, a ruler from a nearby land, because next door doesn't really have anything. It's just like next door town, which is it has like the celebrity, and like the genie doesn't really count for anything. But moving on to Realm of the Fae, as I said before, they don't really have a currency exchange in Realm of the Fae. Like, money does not exist, but the Fab Fairies obviously have a point of power in their community. Yes. They obviously have a state of power in their community, which makes them technical rulers. Because we obviously see that being an elf is a very rare class in the world of Miitopia, because of all that trouble you have to go through to unlock it. And Peculia and the mountain place, I forget the name of, Tashili or whatever, are literally just places. Except the vampire is like the only guy who lives in Peculia. So, dang it! Wrong sprinkle. But, what do we get out of this? Absolutely nothing. This is a bad concept for a video. And then Galapagos and New Lumos have no leaders. New Lumos has to be led by somebody, though. I bet we could find that out pretty easily. But, and then Otherworld is obviously in space. Nobody can own stuff in space. And the skyscraper is probably owned by the Darker Lord. And we still don't know who made Nimbus, which is peculiar, because it's very advanced. So I might make a future theory of who made the little factory in what's it called, the Nimbus, because very weird stuff that nobody built it. I've been rambling for 20 minutes, but I hope if there's at least one person that likes my videos that you've enjoyed my rambling. I think I might have covered everything. Like the Carcatan thing, who is the Dark Lord commanding for him to have a castle like that? I don't know. I don't think anybody would anybody in the history of ever would want to be puppeted around by the Dark Lord. Oh yes! Oh my God. Sprinkles for all. Now the girl with the family heirloom in Greenhorn, she might be hiding something, because how did she get that? I know it has family in the name, but like, it has some divine power in it. That can't just be. That can't just be nothing. Oh, looks like I'm not gonna be needing sprinkles. Yeah, everything in miitopia has to be owned by somebody, except for Glaciato, Chili. So, to recap, again. Greenhorn is ruled by the king. We all know that. Next door is ruled by an unknown figure. Realm of the Fae doesn't really have government. So we can take everybody out of the picture, except for the Fab Fairies, who have a lot of rule. Like, they don't rule the realm of the Fae, but they have a place of power in the. Oh my God. They have a lot of power in the realm of the Fae, which signifies a ruler, as literally everybody in the history of ever knows. But, yeah, and then Karkatan is literally, what is Karkatan? It's literally just like hell. It's like a volcano. Stop targeting Linky! Oh, finally. But, yeah, this is a silly game made by silly people with silly me's. It's not really. To say that I know the lore isn't to say a lot, if you know what I'm getting at. Yeah, there's not really a lot we can do in the first turn here. Dang it, I'm talking about the battle. But, yeah, miitopia, funny game that I like to ramble about. Who made the pyramid? Egyptians in miitopia canon? Egyptians canon in the world of miitopia? No way. Wouldn't they be Nextorians? But yeah, this video literally has no point to it. Pointless. I could. Okay, hold on. But yeah, this whole video has been an excuse to ramble. But like, miitopia government, no president. Miitopia government doesn't make a lot of sense, really, because it's obviously this is a game. It's not like real life government. Oh, not this! Ness, the Dark Lord. Oh my God. Personalities. Personalities. How do personalities work? I'm gonna lick wounds. I'm just gonna spend the rest of the video talking about this battle. He's gonna cure.exe, isn't he? Oh my god! So here, I'm gonna life sprinkle our one person who can heal, who can res. Am I about to finish this battle on camera? And I get the full heal from the friendship boost. If you guys didn't know, getting a friendship boost in battle fully restores your health. Look out, dodge. Yes. Yeah, I'm gonna die here. Yeah. Well, that's the end of my 30-minute ramble. Bye, guys.